Hey guys, what's going on? It's DoXXeD here with a video. Today we're going to be talking about how to prevent getting doxed and how to remove your dox. In the pretty previous video, I've talked about what is doxing and what's important to you. So check out that video. I want to talk about a couple of things before we continue on because it's going to be a series of short videos of how to do this and how to do that, all combined into one video. Um, If you guys don't know what a 2FA is, it's a two-factor authentication. Basically, you can register your mobile device, and if you change your phone number or you deactivate your phone or your phone's going to get canceled, make sure you remove two-factor authentication off of every services that you have. May it be Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, any services that use 2FA. Remove it before you disconnect your phone. Or if you disconnect your phone, you're going to have one hell of a time trying to log back into that account. Um, 2FA is basically an additional layer of protection. A code gets sent out to your phone. You put in that code, then you're actually able to log in the website after you put in your email and password or your username and password. So I just want to let you know that 2FA is really important to have. It's not the securest way, but it's secure than it was. Since the beginning of the internet for security-ness. Um, and the as this video transitioned through, take it serious as if it was you. Um, a lot of you is like, there's no way that this could happen. There's no way, not me. Yes, you, anyone, your kid, your kids' kids, your girlfriend, your husband, anybody. This can happen to you. So just take these videos really seriously and protect yourself. Take the time of the day, at least the entire day. Like if you have a day off, do this and follow this video. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your kids, share it with everybody so they know that this video is serious and what could be the outcome and how to protect yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing the videos through. I hope you guys enjoy them. Please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, as this channel is just educational channel and I do a lot of entertainment, just and whatnot stuff. So I hope you enjoy, and let's go ahead and proceed through. So we're going to be removing ourselves from websites. I've compiled a list here. Basically, this list is like white pages. Do you guys remember white pages? It shows everyone in your area, especially in your state, first and last name. You look them up on the white books. Then you look them by the address, and it even shows their home phone number. If you don't remember that, hopefully you guys get yellow books. It's more like the business pages that you get at your doorstep. It's like, oh, okay, then here's this business. It's at this address and whatnot. So hopefully you guys remember that. But as we're at a new day and age where it's more convenient for people to look up everyone at any time nationally, so we wanted to go to truepeoplesearch.com. And we're gonna do a it gives us an example. So John Smith, and let's just say that we live in Los Angeles, California, and we'll go ahead and search for that. So we're just gonna say that we're John Smith, but it shows that we used to live in Los Angeles, California, but now we live in Chicago. Now let's just say that this is true, that I live in Chicago. Um, Now, if we go ahead and click on this here, now look, it shows the address, the wireless address, the landline. Um, it even shows a full background report, email addresses, and the previous addresses. So, and it shows possible relation or relatives that I used to live with or who that I am related with, and all this whatnot stuff. And it shows it on all of these websites. So, how do we remove ourselves off these websites? Well, it's simple. So now we know who we are, and what we want to do is we want to visit the complete link here, and we're just going to agree to the terms of services. Go ahead and check mark that in. I am not a robot. Begin removal. And now we're just going to go with John Smith and Los Angeles, California. And guess what? The first one pop up right here. Go ahead and click on that again and scroll all the way down. And it'll say remove this record. Go ahead and click on that. Now it says record removal request accepted. Your record should be removed everywhere from the site within a few hours. And then usually it's instant. So if we typed in John Smith again and typed in Los Angeles, California, as you see, it didn't pop up. So we actually removed ourselves because it showed that we actually live in Chicago, Illinois. So you want to go to each website and do the same pattern. That is it. That is simple. We're going to move on with the next step here. So let's say that I have your IP address. What can I do with your IP address? There's a lot of things that I can actually do with it, but we're just gonna get Google's IP address, and we're just gonna use this IP for example. So, but let's just say that this IP address right here is your IP address. So let's go ahead and just copy that in, and now we're gonna go ahead and paste that, and we're gonna get IP details. So now it shows me who's it's registered by, who's the ISP. Google is its own ISP, but it'll tell me if it's registered with Comcast, CenturyLink, AT&T, Verizon. It'll tell me who is registered with, and that's who your IP is. And it'll show me the state that you're in. And the city is not always accurate, but it's fairly close to your city, or it might even be 50 miles out. That's because where the server or the aggregator is generating that IP at, that's producing and giving you that IP. So wherever that aggregator is at, that's where it's going to pull in the city. So it can actually show up in your city, or it can be 50 miles out, for example. Now, all I got to do is go on Facebook, and if I know your first and last name, and I just don't know who you are exactly. So let's just say you have that common name, John Smith. That name's really not unique, and let's just say you don't have a unique name, which makes it a little bit harder to dig up as for a quote unquote hacker. Or someone who's a stalker or any of that sorts. So all they gotta do is just type your first and last name into Facebook, and they can just filter it by the state and the city, and it will show you popped up on Facebook or even on Twitter. So that's one reason why you want to hide your IP, and you can get yourself a VPN, which is a little bit more advanced tutorial, and I have tutorials on the channel that'll show you how to set up a VPN. But let's just say that you don't want to do that. Well, that's certainly fine. You can go to google.com and just type in translate. And what you want to do is click on the Google Translate. Now, why am I taking you to this? Basically, Google has its own web browser with its own web browser in a way. So when you want to use a proxy, so it's kind of like a VPN, but not really. A proxy just goes through it tunnels through a web browser. So let's just say you want to go to Facebook, and this you can bypass if your school has blocked out Facebook or YouTube or even your work. You can just use translate.google, and you can just pull it up from there as well. So just giving you guys a little off topic tips. So let's just say that we want to go to Facebook. So make sure that Right now, that's in French, and you want that translate to English, or whatever your native language is, and just make sure it's anything else other than English, and then just translate it to English. Now we're gonna go ahead and click on that, and it'll go ahead and pull the page. So now, instead of it going to a facebook.com, how we normally type it in, it's actually using the Google services as a proxy. So it's now translate, then Google user content, and yeah, now Facebook is unblocked, and now we're using Google's server as to hide our IP as well. So we are not necessarily showing our IP address. We're using Google and Google's IP address. So that's a quick way to hide your IP. And speaking of proxies and VPNs, you can use a Tor project, the Tor browser. Just go visit the site. You can Google it and just choose your platform for Windows, for Apple, or if you're on Ubuntu or other Linux software, just go ahead and choose a 32-bit or 64-bit. Just install it. Then this will pop up here, and this is a proxy in a whole nutshell. And if I go to ipchicken.com to show my IP, this is not my IP whatsoever. You can use this as a normal web browser, and it will still hide your IP. And you can go to Facebook. I'm just letting you know it's going to be really slow because it's networking and tunneling through all the networks and tunnels. So I'm just letting you know it's really freaking slow. So the Tor browser, you can use it for just basic web browsing. It doesn't have to be for onion browsing. But yeah, so I'm just letting you guys know there's that option as well. All right, so let's say that you own a website. I do. And let's just say that you didn't sign up for Whois protection. Basically, if we search the domain name, we'll go to nolock.com, and we're going to pull in the results. So right here, it will show information. I can tell you right here, it will show your first and last name, so the resident name. So let's just pretend that first name, then last name, and it shows the your street address, the city, the state, and that's if you didn't put in false information. I put in false information because I don't feel like paying for Whois protection because I think it's a load of horseshit, to be completely honest and fair. So you can pay for Whois protection, and it'll actually hide all of your information, or you can just put in false information. How do you put in false information? You gotta go whoever you register your domain name with. So it could be with GoDaddy, Network Solutions. There's many websites out there that are hosters that will host your domain and site. You just gotta go towards your whoever your hosting is and look for who is, and you can just edit the information right then and there. I always put in false information. Always do that, guys. So if you know someone who has a website, you can just type in who is on Google, and it'll bring you towards on one of these sites, or you can just go to nick.com, scroll all the way down for who is, and test it on yourself and see if your information pops up. So let's move on to the next step. So, Google is your best friend in most cases, right? It can also be your worst enemy. Google index everything on the website, because if I were to go towards like Facebook, and if I typed in the username on a post or anything really, it would pop up under Google. That's how it works out because it searches for those selected keywords. Now, if we type in Codexual, we'll just type in myself, it'll show a whole bunch of things about me. What if I want to specify a certain keyword and have it narrow it down. So if we put in the quotes here, quote, then put in codexual, then end a quote, it's going to specify and reiterate everything just for that exact keyword. If we just got rid of the quotes and type in just codexual, it can be a broader range. So now we're just looking for the exact keyword codexual. Let's say if I was a woman, for example, and I'm not one, but I can just type in the woman's username, but we'll just say it's codexual, and we'll go ahead and just type in nude after that. And if we want to find some explicit photos of codexual, just to get off at, you can definitely do that. And you go to images. I don't want to click on images. It might actually show up nudes. I'm not saying that my nudes are out there. I'm just saying that the word nude will show a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want to censor out because I'm too lazy to edit some things. So if you know a person's username, you can even go on someone's Twitter or someone's Facebook and just type in their username, and this will pop up. And if you are curious about something, you can just type in nude. If they have any nude photos leaked out. Just Google is your best friend for searching for things, and it can also be your worst enemy. So keep that in mind. So I created a false Facebook just for this illustration here, and as you guys know, whoever uses Facebook, you can see their entire timeline. If they haven't set it to private, you can see their friends, their about section and whatnot. Um, if you guys haven't messed with Facebook, basically, let's just go through everything here. Go away, you. So you can see their workplace, the school, the city that they live in, their original hometown, the relationship that they're in, their workplace, the school that they went to, any contact information, and their family. And if they're like a kid, for example, they mainly will have their family right here. And this is where we can snoop on the kid's profile and look who's the mom or the father or who's their legal guardian. And we follow them on Facebook and we pull the information on them. Then that's where the sites come into play as we put in the mom or the dad's information. And there we go. We just got John Smith's information if he was a kid. We could still pull up John Smith's information if he was an adult. That's how it works out. So you definitely want to not have your family members listed right there. You don't even want them to have Facebook. You know what? Just in general, you don't want Facebook. You don't want social media. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to boast about? So essentially, if you do have a Facebook, don't tell anyone about your Facebook. That's anyone that's over the internet. Play some common sense into your mind. And to disactivate your Facebook, you just want to go towards your settings, and it'll say manage your Facebook. Then you scroll down, and it'll say deactivate your Facebook, and just type in your password and go ahead and deactivate that. Just put your privacy settings. Just edit that and just keep it at friends if there's any more. Only show some friends. So you can only show some friends. This is where you're going to edit and to modify your profile and keep your privacy settings at max. So no creep is going to come along here and find out who you are. So I suggest that, at least change your last name. I would change your first name and your last name so no one knows who you really are, and keep your username separate because most people will set up their username facebook.com/da da da da, and if I know your name was if your username is da 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 da, I can just do a quick Google search and you pop up right then and there. So let's move on to the next. Hey guys, so this is being the ending of the video, and before I let you go, there's a couple of resources that I want to give to you after I'm done with this video clip. Um, you can unsubscribe and go off the grid. I want to be speaking about going off the grid. All the services that you're using, they're not 100% secured. There's always a backdoor somewhere. Backdoor means, you're able to access through the back ends. Like you forgot to lock the back door of your home. Well, I will sneak right in. I'm not saying that I'm gonna. I'm just saying that there's always a hole. There's always something. Because think about it. Google, Facebook, Twitter, they'll reward people if you find ways to hack into their system. They will reward you. So what does that say to you? Not everything is 100%. Our own government, our federal government, is not 100% secured. There's always something because they're always getting hacked. It's not being publicly announced as often, but they're being hacked. Even foreign countries are being hacked. Nothing's 100% secured. So the best and only way to be secured is to delete all of your accounts or deactivate them. Change everything, all the passwords to everything. Don't use the same password for every damn site. Seriously, don't do that. Don't be that simple. Um, use letters, numbers, capitalizations. Use symbols. The longer the password, the better and more secured it is. Um, so I just want to let you know about that. So take take security seriously because that's the only thing that you got to protect yourself. Never sign up for any bank, online banking. Just use your phone, call up the 1-800 number, check what your account balance is, check what the previous transactions are. That's it. That's all you need to know. I know online banking is convenient, but is it convenient for you when you just got hacked, when your information just got leaked, when identity theft? Is that really convenient for you? Which is more convenient, calling the 1-800 number and having a 5-minute conversation with that robot number or that robot voice, or a lifetime, possible lifetime of identity theft and you going through hell? Which one's convenient? So let's play these last two clips of going off the grid. And yeah, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, just share this video with everyone. Please take security seriously. All right, signing out and enjoy the ending of the clip. So there's two sites that I have in mind for you to use. If you want to completely go off the grid, check out just delete.me. It'll take you towards this site. It's redirects towards the backgroundchecks.org slash just delete me. Basically, you go through every site that you can possibly think of that you're associated to, and it gives you a link. As soon as you click on it, it gives you a link, and it tells you of how to delete your profile and whatnot. So that's really cool. And all the red ones here, basically, for example, if you have an account with Adobe, you have to send them an email, tell them to delete your account. So it ranges from green, which is really easy to delete your account, to red means you have to email them or call them, and black means it's impossible to delete the account. Um, so there's that, and I hope this works out for you. And if you ever get like signed up for spam messages, or if I, for example, if I'm gonna be a dickhead to you, and I sign your email up for a whole bunch of Viagra pills and porn and all that whatnot stuff that you don't want, basically all you gotta do is go to unroll.me, and this will clean up your inbox and it will unsubscribe you to all of those incoming messages into your junk mail, your email. Or the spam folder, and into your main inbox of your email. So this will actually help out with all those spam messages as well. So I just want to let you know about these two sites if you want to go off the grid.